Hello my friends, welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're brand new. This is Catfish Cameron. I'm going to be giving you all a quick and easy demonstration of how to throw a cast net and a couple locations to find yourself some fresh shad to use for anything from bass to catfish, guys. Throwing a cast net is pretty simple. I feel like as long as you don't ingrain any bad habits and have a decent technique from the get-go, you're going to be perfect. Let me show you how to stage your net to throw it. As it goes with most fishing, this is not the end-all be-all, but this is the way I like to do it. Throwing a 5-foot cast net, 5 to 6 foot cast net, this will work good. If you get up into those bigger 12, 10-foot throw nets, you just kind of have to manage more net. I'm sure the same technique would work great. As far as staging your net, you have your wrist loop. I like to do it on my non-dominant hand. And you start to coil your line. First things first, make sure everything's not tangled up. That is a good rule of thumb when throwing a cast net. Start to stage my line in about 1 foot loops, just like so. Definitely do not let this get knotted up. You want a decent amount of line just in case you cast net in some 20-foot, 16-foot areas. You're gonna let it sink as much as you can until it hits the bottom and traps those shad. So we got our loops in our non-dominant hand. You're gonna grab your cast net by the horn. That's the part that guides all your braille lines, the heavier mono. Grab it by the horn and grab about a foot down, just like that, and lay it over. You're gonna open up your cast net at your feet, just like so. Throw it off to your left. What we're checking is to make sure that your weights aren't tangled in your braille lines. That's that heavier mono that goes to the base of the net, helps it close. If it's tangled, you're not gonna get a good throw. You're gonna open it up like that. You're gonna reach down 1 arm's length, a 2nd arm's length, and you're gonna have all that net in one hand. Then you're gonna open it up like a triangle, and you're ready to do the technique of throwing. You're just gonna have all that in one hand though. That really helps. Let's go down to a spot where I think I can get some shad and show you how I'm throwing this net, y'all. See those ripples right there? Those were some shad. Yep, right there, those are shad, guys. That is what we're looking for. That's what we're gonna try to aim for when we throw our net. Hopefully we don't overheat. Like I said, y'all, you're gonna throw it to your left, 1 arm's length, 2 arms length, 3 arm lengths of net in your non-dominant hand. Make sure your braille lines aren't tangled. And I like to do a nice little spin, kind of spin up, down, then give it a nice high toss. And make sure you let it sink. Let it sink all the way to the bottom, y'all. Hard tugs. That's what we want. No shad on that cast. Let's keep going. Same thing, just coil it up in your non-dominant hand. Same thing, as long as it doesn't get knotted on you. Mine is trying to. About 1 foot coils. All the way until the horn. Just about. Yep. Grab it by the horn, about 1 foot down. Then open it up take up your 3 armed lengths of your lead line, all in your non-dominant hand. Open it up like this. Make sure your lead lines aren't tangled in your net. Got me a little bit of a hole here. Yep. Make sure your braille lines aren't tangled. I'm gonna do a little upward spin, downward spin, throw. Just like that, y'all. Nice and high, gives it time to open up. Let's hope we get some shad on that throw. Let it sink, y'all. Let it sink longer than you think it needs to. There you go. And just like that, you are ready to net some gizzard shad, y'all. Seems like the schools are not tightly packed today, but I've been managing to get, 1 to 7 every few casts. Just grab your horn, open it up, dump your shad out, and just like that, y'all, you are ready to cast net some shad. See if we can't get some more. Coil it up. Does not have to be very specific, y'all. Just about 1 foot coils. The main key is making sure your braille lines aren't tangled. One more coil, see? Grab the horn. See how it's twisted up? Let it untwist. Grab about 1 foot down. Open it up. 1, 2, 3 handfuls of net. You're gonna open it up and give it that little spin, guys. If you're on a boat, you don't have to do the spin, specifically because you can get right over the shad. You do that spin though, and it will make the thing open up more. Sometimes I like to shake it, make sure your braille lines didn't get tangled, make sure it all goes down evenly, all the way to the bottom. And fast yanks to get it to close. Yep, there we go. Felt some shad kicking there. Nice. See, just like that. Another little threadfin or gizzard shad, y'all. Heck yeah. This is my #1 location to find shad on any reservoir, y'all. Just go down to a boat ramp, cast off the edge of a dock. Sometimes you'll find them in a cove. And what I'm looking for is shad busting on the surface. It'll almost look like raindrops, just in a nice tight pattern. And those are your shad feeding up on phytoplankton or some type of algae. 1, 2. See, my braille line's a little tangled there. Just shake it out. You'll see when it's tangled, the weights will be going through the braille line in a loop. That's what you don't want. All your net in your non-dominant hand, grab it like this, give it the spin. Just like that. Give it a couple of shakes, make sure your braille lines didn't get tangled in this main line. Let it sink all the way to the bottom. Sound like a broken record, but the more consistent you can get your technique, the more solid throws you're gonna get. Oh, yep, got us some shad. Nice, that's a good size one too. That's a big shad there, holy moly. Look at the size of that one, guys. That's a great gizzard shad there. Heck yeah, size of that one. That's a great catfish or striper bait there. Shad, guys, got some nice bait for tonight. Seems like things haven't even changed a bit, despite the lake being really low. Other than that, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. This was Catfish Cameron. Till next time.